Peggy 18.
One of the things people have been talking about a lot since you showed the game is the voice protagonist in the game. Where'd you come to that decision to use that?
We wanted to tell this big epic story, and and do that in a way that let the player sort of relay emotion and have these emotional moments. And we realized, there's only so if you play Fallout 3, Liam Neeson is the voice of your dad, and there are some good emotional beats there, but there's only so much you can do when you're just clicking on a line of dialogue and there's no spoken response, and you can't. So the emotional depth that we got by having the voice protagonist has just actually way more intense than I even expected, like the advantages of it.
Yeah, some of that was logistical. Can we?
Right.
We didn't want it to hold back what we would usually do with, all of the choice we want. So, they have spent years on it. Each of them have recorded over 13,000 lines, and also we found, two great voice actors for the male and the female players.
Yeah. Well, Todd, can you believe it? We actually have them here.
I can believe it.
Yeah. So we'd like to welcome to the stage voice actors Brian T. Delaney, Courtenay Taylor, and voice director Kal-El Bogdanovich. How'd I do?
Not well.
So welcome, guys. It's pretty exciting to have you guys, and I guess Courtenay wasn't able to make it.
Wait, yeah, she's lost somewhere in the electronic miasma.
Yeah.
Try and get her here.
Okay. So how did you guys get started on the project?
I remember I looked it up, and July 9th, 2013 was my first day of work. And I remember I knew this was going to be a big deal, but I didn't know the game title. I only knew the code name. So we show up, and I do the first line, which happens to be War Never Changes. And I say, Cal, just can you tell me what the name of the game is? And he says, well, yeah, it's, the line. Right, the line, of course. Stupid. Yeah, I know. I didn't. So when he told me and the scope of the game and what they were doing and what Todd and the team were doing, it kind of blew me away, even more so than when I first found out I booked the job. So it's pretty cool.
Cool. What are some unique characteristics of working on a project this massive compared to other things you've worked on?
The number one difference between this and the many other games that I've worked on is the amount of time and care that has gone into the writing and then the recording of this material. I don't know how much you guys know about this, but in a lot of other games, AAA games, they'll wait till like the last month or two to record everything for the game, and it's a huge rush, and sometimes you're doing like 100 lines an hour, and it's nuts. To have had the artistic luxury of being able to work on this with these two, unfortunately Courtney's not here, these two incredibly talented actors for as long as we have, almost 3 years, definitely 3 by the time it launches, is just, it shows an attention to detail and a respect for the material and for the audience that you just don't see elsewhere. It's really extraordinary.
Yeah. And for you guys, what's it been like working with them?
Awesome. It's... Again, that goes back to, if we're going to really do this the way we want, we need to logistically figure out how we can record voice for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so, Cal came in early. We did some, there's some performance capture we do in the game, so there's that part of it as well. And we were anxious, about having a voice, because it changes, how do I feel about my character? And when we heard Brian and Courtenay, and we obviously, we auditioned a ton of people. I don't know if you know how many.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was, oh, yeah.
Get out, really?
Oh, yeah.
So you were number one.
And we'd have team voting. So we would put up various pictures of different character faces and make everybody in the team, everybody in the team listen to them. And because sometimes you get a good voice, but he doesn't feel right to everybody. And it was like Courtenay! Taylor!
Courtney's here. Yay!
Courtenay Taylor.
This was a late idea, by the way. Everybody you should come. It'll be great. But anyway, finding them really made all the difference. And it's weird. Actually, today was the first day I actually met face to face.
I know.
And like I've been listening to his voice as the character, and they both have really owned the characters for years, and it got better and better and better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Emil could speak to it too. He does most of the writing.
You know, you talk about, well, so there, you know, you can play the game as a female protagonist or a male protagonist, and you, so everything, so either gender can do everything in the game, right? So, and it was really cool for me to see the differences in the lines and the things that Brian brought and the things that Courtenay brought were sometimes completely different. Like I would write them a certain way, or the designers would write these things a certain way, and you would expect a certain performance, and then they would deliver something way beyond what you even expected. And so that actually happened very early, and that, you know, I spoke earlier of trust. It establishes trust with, you know, when you have this very emotional story, and the trust you have to have that these, you know, these folks are going to knock it out of the park. The recording sessions almost became conversational, you know what I mean? Just like, let's go in, let's do it, you know? And the communication to be able to talk to these guys and Cal about, that's not working, can we try it this way? World of difference.
Well, we're actually running out of time here. Thanks, everybody, for showing. Brian, I have one request for you. Maybe you could give the whole audience a let's go, pal.
Let's go, pal.
Perfect.